lot of people give up when faced with obstacles. That ain't what this video about. Watch how one mom overcomes all odds to return back to work after taking time off to raise a family.
I'm gonna get this work. Be ready to get this work.
Get this work.
Get this work.
There's nothing else I can say.
So this is a success story about a mom who I'll let introduce herself in a second. But like some moms, she took time off to raise her kids, but she always dreamed of coming back to the workforce. In this video, she's gonna share where she started, her journey back to the workforce, how she managed to succeed despite all the obstacles that got in her way. Check it out.
So my name is Kendra Davis, and I live in Gary, Indiana. Moved to Chicago at 18 on my own to go to college and never left. So originally I was supposed to be a doctor. I was pre-med in undergrad, finished 2 degrees and 2 minors in 4 years while working 20 to 30 hours a week to support myself. So I went to Northwestern, which was a really rigorous academic program. Like I mentioned, been on my own since I was 18. So getting through college definitely had some trials and triumphs. But by the time I got to be in my senior year, I worked, like I said, up to 30 hours a week. I was completing my second major. And so I had 2 quarters, because they're on the quarter system, where I had over 20 credit hours of courses that I was taking. So I was just tired. I knew that if I went straight into medical school, I was going to potentially burn out. So I said to myself, I would take a year off. And I went into pharmaceutical sales because I wanted to see the other side of the medical field. And when I went into pharma, I met a lot of doctors that told me I was in the right place. So I decided not to go and pursue medical school after all. So after working in pharmaceutical sales for about 7 years, I decided to take a break. I needed to take a break. I was covering a 3-state territory and working 70 hours a week, driving 4,000 miles a month, and I had a little one at home. So I made a choice to leave pharmaceuticals and focus on my family. And so that period of time ended up being a little bit longer than I expected. Honestly, I did look for work in that time, like working part-time. And I consistently heard a lot of the same things, that I would either cost too much for a company to hire me, or they felt like I would get bored and quit. So I continued to look for work on and off, even thought about going back to work full-time several times. I applied to hundreds of jobs and didn't end up anywhere. And so after a while, I just was like, I'm going to stop. I focused on me. I ended up teaching and starting a couple of small businesses. And last year, in 2020, my husband and I talked again. We're like, we're going to give it a try. And I knew from what I had done in learning some computer programming and doing web design and brand development for small businesses that I wanted to work in tech. But I didn't know how to get there. You know, I was coming off of the years of not finding a job, and I just happened to search how to break into tech sales online and came across ReWork.
Here's why I love this story. So here this woman is, takes a break, gets into pharma sales, which ain't an easy thing to do, and they make bank. Gives 7 years of her life to a career where she's driving back and forth, working 70 hours a week. This woman was killing herself on top of raising a family. And you would think with this level of experience that people would be knocking down a door for the experience. And you would think with topics like diversity, equity, and inclusion at an all-time high, that people would be knocking down their door to get at this talented Black woman. But like she said, she couldn't even get part-time work, which kills me. Gladly, she did the old Google search and found ReWork. Check out what happens next.
Coming out of the program, having that knowledge base, having mentors who took like a personal interest in me and my story and were willing to meet with me after hours and vouch for me and go through interview prep, like all of that was invaluable. And at the end of the day, some really good advice that I got, as I did have some frustrations, right? Sometimes those feelings of concern, like who's really going to hire me, start coming back. And someone was just like, just get there. Like, you just have to get the first job. And And that's the truth. It turned out that, ironically, after just 2 months, I ended up getting an offer that I accepted.
Yep.
I think at the end of the day, sales is really about people. It's not just about selling a product. It's about the people whose lives you're impacting. So when your solution solves problems for people, that's where you make the most good. And when you think about moving into this role, it's about people as well. It's about having a support system. It's about having a network of individuals who are not only willing to spend time with you, but again, who are willing to give you an inside view on the industry and get that heads up. You know, they say that 80% of jobs come from referrals. I didn't know anybody in tech. I didn't have any internal referrals. I didn't have anything that could tell my story. And Rework gives you that. It gives you the training, it gives you the support, it gives you the community that you need to be able to move into tech. And it's not going to be easy. It's going to take time. It's a commitment, but it's worth it at the end of the day when you can get that first job, right? Just get there and then be able to build out, you know, whatever path that it is that you want in that industry. I'm old and grown. I'm trying to pay some bills. I'm trying to save for retirement. I'm trying to send my daughter to Bethel, get this work.
Man, you can't end a story better than that. Thanks y'all for tuning in. If you're interested to see what Kendra is up to and what her tech career is taking her, feel free to check out her LinkedIn profile in the bio. If you could relate to her, was in her shoes, or thinking about just making a career change, Rework Training can help. Rework Training is the first 501c3 nonprofit to offer a free tech sales bootcamp. And like anybody that signs up will tell you, it's more than just classes. Rework is a community. We're on a mission to help 25,000 Black, brown people of color get jobs in the tech sales industry. No tuition, no payback. We're trying to help people out so they can pay it forward. Want to learn more? Head over to reworktraining.org to learn more about how we're helping our community to get this work.